Get your brand or song in front of each video that we do here on the channel. We got specials going on right now, and we accommodate almost every budget. Email me right now, ogod@hiphopun.com. Do not wait, let's work. I was actually listening to a bit of that lecture before I got here today. Powerful lecture. You named some names. I didn't get through the whole thing, regrettably, but you talked about Diddy, and you kind of talked about the hidden hand behind Diddy, Clive Davis. Could you kind of you said and you also mentioned, I think, like low hanging fruit. Could you kind of get into that and break that down for our audience?
Yeah. So I would start like this. I was asked when the whole Diddy thing broke, when he was first arrested. I was speaking somewhere and somebody asked me, well, what do you think about Diddy situation? And before I can answer, the brother who asked me listed all of the evils and crimes that Diddy allegedly did. And what I said to the brother then, and I say it now, I don't know what Diddy is guilty of, if anything. I don't know. I guess some of that may or may not come out. But I said, but I will see you a Diddy and I'll raise you a Clive Davis. Clive Davis, we know well. We know Arista Records and its relationship with this criminal network that is affiliated both with the mafia and the U.S. intelligence apparatus. We know Clive Davis's relationship with Lawrence Tish and the Tish family, who are part of the mega group. The mega group is this very important cabal of Jewish billionaires who got together in 1991-92 with the aim of investing their money and their resources to advance Jewish causes. They would regularly meet. In one of those meetings, they had hip hop on the agenda. The central figure of the mega group is Edgar Bronfman Sr. The Bronfmans are the new Rothschilds. You want to talk about the Illuminati? Well, in 2025, if you talk about the Illuminati and talk about the Rothschilds, that's anachronistic. That's passe. The Rothschilds have been replaced by the Bronfmans. And the way of the Illuminati, it used to be financing wars, but the way of the Illuminati, the new Illuminati, is financing artists and social influencers. So Clive Davis is connected, is affiliated with the mega group through his relationship with Lawrence Tish and the mega group, the Bronfman family. Through its tentacles, its octopus tentacles, has controlled hip hop for decades, has shaped hip hop for decades. So yes, Diddy is low hanging fruit. Russell Simmons is low hanging fruit. Hove is low hanging fruit. It's the people behind the curtain, the people who paid for the distribution of their catalogs. The last point I'll make, so both Bad Boy and Death Row, we know, were Trojan horses through which so-called gangster rap was injected into the culture. Fetish rap, or as appeals, my brothers appeals say, or porn rap was injected into the culture. As Arista was behind Bad Boy, so we look at when we think of Bad Boy, we see the black face of Puffy. No, we should see the white face of Clive Davis and his affiliates, because Clive Davis gave $50 million for Bad Boy to become a reality. With Death Row, we see Suge Knight, we might even see Harry-O. But what's really responsible for the success of Death Row in the Death Row catalog is Jimmy Iovine, Doug Morris, David Geffen, and Edgar Brofman Jr. These are the people behind the curtain of Death Row. And so Suge Knight was even low-hanging fruit, as P. Diddy is low-hanging fruit. We have to keep the light on those, the people behind the curtain, now that the curtain has been lifted.
Agreed, and I'm glad you brought him up. What do you think about how Diddy has handled his situation from a defense perspective? When all the allegations came out, he was quiet. I mean, and we've historically have heard, let them say whatever they want, you stay quiet, let your lawyers do the talking, etc. We've seen the opposite with a JayZ, where as soon as the allegations came out, I think less than 24 hours, he was on it. He was on the offensive, dismaying the allegations, calling out the lies. And then he got his legal team involved, and they're doing what they do. So what do you think about how Diddy handled his situation in comparison to how JayZ handled his situation? Allegations that stemmed further for Diddy and kind of went along the wayside for JayZ.
Yeah. Because I'm not a lawyer, I'm not qualified to weigh in on that. I would imagine that JayZ's and Diddy's situations were different. The level and magnitude and number of the charges or allegations were probably substantively different. And so the two legal teams probably had two different legal strategies. I can't say that the Diddy's legal team is employing a wrong or bad legal strategy. I can't say that. I don't know. I don't know the details of what Diddy is looking at versus what JayZ is looking at. Of course, Diddy's trial is underway, or at least the beginning process of it, so we will learn more. But no, I'm not qualified to second guess either one of their legal strategies. That's not my place.
Understood.
Right. Now, do you is this a systematic attack against black wealthy men? Because again, it seems like, all these guys are affluent in a way, close to billionaires. Kanye West, JayZ, Diddy, Bill Cosby, even R. Kelly. All these guys kind of transcended, whatever era they were in. They're at the top brass of everything: the music, R&B, sports, whatever, entertainment. Is it a systematic attack on them, in your opinion? Is anybody exempt from that?
Well, I think it's a bit deeper than that.
Okay.
I think it's a bit deeper than that.
Okay.
I suspect Diddy may have fallen victim to a situation similar to Harvey Weinstein. What do I mean by that? Hollywood is a company, and Harvey Weinstein was a company man. Harvey Weinstein did something that made him fall out with the company, so he was delivered up.
Right.
We know Harvey Weinstein's associates. We know the clique that he was in. We know that he could have what he is in jail for. His close associates are guilty of that and more. But he was delivered up. He fell out with the company.
Right.
The importance of Whitney Webb's investigative report, one one label under blackmail. It's how she argues with great sources that as Jeffrey Epstein was only a front man for a network bigger than him that employed him, and this network that has mafia and intelligence connections, this network behind Epstein, they employed Epstein and empowered Epstein to target a particular demographic with their criminal wares. Our black moguls, some of them have been chosen to be front men of the same network, but targeting a different demographic with these criminal wares. This demographic is Black America. So Jeffrey Epstein was delivered up. I suspect that when we see black men of wealth who have been invited to the party. So yeah, we need to watch the party die. The party must die. When we see black men who were invited to that party and then become targeted by these same forces, my assumption is that for some reason, these black wealthy persons are delivered up because they fell out with the company. I do not believe it's their wealth, because their wealth was granted to them. So when our brother Kanye West, right after he announced himself as the wealthiest black man in history, wealthier than Mansa Musa, with his billions, and then with the stroke of a pen, Forbes magazine can drop him from the billionaires list, and so much of his money just evaporate like that. It's because those who make us as wealthy black men have shown their power to break us as wealthy black men. So it's not their wealth that's the problem. It's not their wealth that is the reason they are targeted. It is, I suspect, they have fallen out with the company for whatever reason, and they are being delivered up.
You talked about Kanye. Let's talk about him, because we talked about him numerous times with you on this platform. What he went through with the power structure in the music industry, the power structure in the fashion industry, and how they did him wrong. And we talked about it at length on this platform. And I think we did him a lot of justice in talking how he did. What's your recent thoughts on his recent behavior as of late, and what do you kind of attribute it to? Going off the rants on social media, various interviews and things like that. Do you kind of look at it as, okay, this is 2025 and this is where media is going? Or do you think Kanye's going through something? Do you think, I don't even want to put no words in your mouth. What do you think about what's currently going on with Kanye?
Well, I have no doubt that our brother Kanye is going through a lot. See, you cannot be made, allowed to be, and indeed made the most wealthiest black man, say in America. He says in history, regardless, Kanye was made a profoundly wealthy black man. You cannot achieve that without having very sinister forces around you. And all of our black billionaires have sinister forces around them. Remember, I said they were invited to the party. And the party gifts that they were given is the millions and billions. They were given this, allowed this, because they are used for the agenda of the network, those who have granted them these party gifts. But the point is with Kanye, no, there are real demonic forces in these black people's life. Now, Kanye has been speaking on many of these forces and naming them and naming individuals. So he absolutely has been in a pressure cooker for a long time. He and those in his black tax bracket, if you will, those black people who are connected with this power structure, this very demonic power structure, they have realities that neither one of us on this platform have. So I am not quick to judge the way of any of them. We can speak what we know if we happen to know it. But what I see in Kanye, he is hurt. He absolutely is going through much of what we probably couldn't even comprehend. Now, he's also an artist, a celebrity, you know, and celebrity in America, you know, seems to require certain things like sensationalism and doing too much. But I think Kanye, I have no doubt, he's legitimately has been battling very powerful demonic forces. And so we're looking at him. We can judge whether we think he's winning or losing, but really we can't judge. We don't know whether he's winning or losing, but we do know he is and has been engaged in a life and death battle with some very demonic, powerful demonic forces.